The story begins on a peaceful human colony, far from the bustling, high-tech cities of Earth. This colony, nestled on a lush, green planet with wide, open skies and towering mountains, was meant to be a safe haven for humanity. The people here had hoped for a simple, peaceful life, free from the shadows of galactic war and strife. But despite the beauty of the land, there was always an underlying sense of fear that loomed over them. The fear wasn't from nature or the wildlife, but from the alien race known as the Zareth. These beings were technologically far beyond anything humanity had ever developed. Their ships could travel across galaxies in the blink of an eye, and their weapons could obliterate entire cities with a single strike. The Zareth ruled the galaxy with an iron fist, enslaving or destroying any race that dared to oppose them. No human colony was safe from their wrath. The Zareth had turned the galaxy into their own personal empire, and they weren't afraid to remind everyone of their power. One quiet afternoon, the colony was thrown into chaos. Zareth warships appeared in the sky, cloaked by advanced stealth technology. Without warning, the ships dropped down, releasing hundreds of soldiers onto the peaceful world. These soldiers, clad in dark, armored suits, began to round up the civilians, showing no mercy or restraint. It was a swift, brutal attack that no one could have prepared for. Among the people was a young girl named Elara. She was only 16 but already showed signs of the bravery that would define her future. Elara had always been fearless, never hesitating to stand up for the weaker ones in the colony. But even her courage couldn't stop the Zareth soldiers as they captured her without warning. They didn't care for her innocence or her bravery. To them, she was nothing more than a human to be tortured, a means to break the spirit of the colony and send a message to others who might resist. The Zareth didn't take long in their search. They found Elara hiding in an old shed with some of the other young colonists. They dragged her out, ignoring her desperate pleas for help. Her heart raced as they chained her hands and threw her into the back of their transport ship. She had heard stories of the Zareth's cruelty, but nothing could have prepared her for what was to come. Back in the colony, there was panic. Families tried to flee, but it was too late. The Zareth forces had already set up a perimeter, and their drones were tracking every movement. No one was safe. And yet, amid the chaos, there was one person who remained calm, Elara's father, Cain. Cain had once been a soldier, but that life was long behind him. He had left the military after years of service, retreating into a quiet existence far away from the horrors of war. Now, he spent his days working as a farmer, keeping to himself, away from the violence of the galaxy. But he wasn't just any former soldier. Cain had been one of the most highly trained and genetically enhanced super soldiers Earth had ever produced. His skills were legendary, and his enhanced strength, reflexes, and intelligence made him a force to be reckoned with. But Cain had buried his past. The scars of war still haunted him, and he had made a promise to himself never to return to that life. Yet when the Zareth attacked, something inside him stirred. The moment he heard of Elara's abduction, his old instincts kicked in. It was the first time in years that he felt truly alive. His heart raced, not with fear, but with an old, familiar drive. Elara was in danger, and he was the only one who could save her. As Cain heard the news of the attack, he rushed back to his small home. His eyes narrowed, and his mind started working faster than ever before. He began digging through his old military supplies, retrieving his combat armor, weapons, and the communication device that connected him to his past. Each item he handled was a reminder of the man he once was, the super soldier who had led humanity's most dangerous missions. But to the Zareth, Cain was just another survivor. They had no idea who they had taken. Meanwhile, Elara's torment continued. She was taken to a massive Zareth prison, a cold and imposing structure built into the heart of a barren moon. The walls were lined with strange alien technology, and the air was thick with the hum of machines. The Zareth commander, Vrek, was the one in charge of the torture facility. He was cruel, calculating, and always looking for new ways to break the spirits of his prisoners. He had no intention of killing Elara immediately, he wanted her to suffer. To him, she was just another insignificant human, easily replaced. But what Vrek didn't know was that Elara's father was no ordinary man. The Tsarith had no idea who they were dealing with. Cain wasn't just a retired soldier, he was the last of a generation of warriors trained for one purpose, to protect humanity at any cost. And now, Cain was about to break his own promise. He would go after Elara, and he would stop at nothing to bring her back. The tension builds as the story shifts between Cain's preparation and Elara's imprisonment. Cain works silently, his hands steady as he assembles the gear that had been dormant for years. Every movement is deliberate, but time is running out. Elara's cries echo in his mind as he recalls his past training. His old super soldier instincts were coming back to life, but the question remained, would he be in time to save his daughter? The clock is ticking. The Tsarith are far from done with Elara, and Cain knows he must act fast. The suspense grows as the scene shifts from Cain's quiet, solitary preparations to the alien world where Elara is being held. It becomes clear that this is more than just a rescue mission, it is a fight for survival, for family, and for humanity's future. Will Cain be able to defeat the technologically superior Tsarith, or will he be too late to save the one person who means everything to him? The stage is set. The battle between a father's love and an alien empire is about to begin. As the stakes rise, Cain begins to prepare for the dangerous rescue mission ahead. His quiet life as a farmer feels like a distant memory as his past as a soldier comes rushing back. His hands move with purpose, retrieving items he thought he'd left behind forever. Each piece of his old battle gear is like a key unlocking memories of a time when he was a weapon, a super soldier, the most elite warrior in the galaxy. Through vivid flashbacks, we learn more about Cain's past. He wasn't just a regular soldier. He had been part of a top-secret program, a project designed to create the ultimate warrior. Cain's body had been enhanced with cutting-edge technology, making him faster, stronger, and more resilient than any human alive. His brain was augmented with advanced AI, giving him superhuman reflexes, the ability to process information faster than any computer, and a mind capable of perfect strategy in the heat of battle. Cain had once been the galaxy's deadliest force, capable of feats that would leave any normal human in awe. But as the years passed, Cain grew weary of the violence. He retired, seeking peace far away from the chaos. He had hoped to leave the past behind, but now, with his daughter in the hands of the Tsarith, his old instincts were beginning to resurface. His mind was no longer clouded by the trauma of war, it was focused on one goal: rescue Elara. Cain knew that he was the only one who had a chance of defeating the Tsarith and saving his daughter from their cruelty. The transformation from the quiet, peaceful man to the warrior he once was is jarring. He begins to prepare for the mission, setting up a small operation in his home. He quickly reactivates his old military equipment, bringing to life weapons that had been gathering dust for years. His old battle armor, a sleek and advanced combat suit, gleams in the dim light. As he dons the suit, his body seems to change. The muscles in his arms, enhanced by years of augmentation, ripple under the tight fabric. His movements become fluid, precise, as if every muscle and nerve is in perfect synchronization. The suit is more than just armor, it's a tool of war. Equipped with advanced cloaking technology, it allows Cain to blend into the environment, making him nearly invisible to the Tsarith's advanced sensors. As he moves, the suit shifts and bends with him, its surface mimicking the surroundings perfectly. To the enemy, he will be nothing but a shadow, a ghost in the night. Cain's preparations are meticulous. He hacks into the Tsarith's security systems, bypassing their complex network with ease. The technology of the Tsarith may be advanced, but Cain's mind, enhanced by AI, can keep up with their most sophisticated systems. With a few keystrokes, he shuts down their surveillance drones, ensuring they won't be able to detect his movements. His every step is calculated, his every decision carefully planned. The clock is ticking, but Kane isn't rushed. His calm, collected demeanor speaks to the level of training he has undergone. He is a soldier once again, and he will do whatever it takes to bring Alara home. The suspense builds as Kane steps outside, his suit now fully activated. The colony around him is eerily quiet, the sounds of distant explosions and gunfire echoing through the air. The Zareth are still close, and Kane knows he has to move quickly. His heart beats steadily as he blends into the shadows, cloaking himself from any prying eyes. As he walks, his movements are smooth, almost unnatural. His super soldier enhancements allow him to navigate the terrain with ease, scaling walls and avoiding obstacles without breaking stride. The visuals are striking. Kane's suit glows faintly in the darkness, its edges almost blending into the environment. When he turns, the suit shifts, seamlessly blending with the trees and rocks around him. It's as if he is part of the very landscape itself. The Zareth forces, scattered throughout the area, are none the wiser. Their advanced technology can't detect him. Kane is a ghost, slipping through their defenses like a predator on the hunt. Every step he takes is calculated. Every move he makes is deliberate. The suspense mounts as Kane nears the Zareth base. His enhanced senses allow him to hear the faintest sounds, footsteps on the ground, the hum of alien machinery. He's in enemy territory now, but he remains focused. There is no room for mistakes. The mission is clear: get in, rescue Alara, and get out before the Zareth realize what's happening. As Kane approaches the facility where Alara is being held, the tension reaches a boiling point. The mission is high risk, and the enemy is formidable, but Kane knows that failure is not an option. His daughter's life hangs in the balance. He knows that this mission will push him to his limits, but he's ready. He's been trained for this. The quiet man is gone, replaced by the soldier, and he will not rest until Alara is safe. But even with all his preparation and the superior technology at his disposal, Kane cannot shake the feeling of unease. The Zareth are no ordinary enemy. Their empire stretches across the galaxy, and their cruelty knows no bounds. What will he find inside their facility? Will Alara still be alive when he reaches her? The suspense is unbearable as Kane moves closer to his objective. He is the galaxy's last hope, the only one capable of standing up to the Zareth and rescuing his daughter. But he is also a man haunted by his past, burdened by the weight of the lives he has taken. Every decision he makes, every step he takes, is a reminder of the soldier he once was. Now, that soldier is back, and there's no turning back. Kane's transformation is complete. The quiet farmer has become the warrior once again, and the battle for his daughter's life is about to begin. Kane's journey takes him to the heart of enemy territory, a desolate, barren moon where the Zareth have set up their most secure fortress. The moon is cold, lifeless, and silent, the perfect location for the alien empire to conduct its dark, secret operations. As Kane descends in his cloaked shuttle, the vast emptiness of the barren landscape is overwhelming, yet he feels an unshakable determination to carry on. The stakes are higher than ever, Alara's life hangs in the balance, and there's no turning back now. The air is thick with tension as Kane begins his infiltration. He knows that the Zareth will be watching every corner of their fortress, using their advanced surveillance technology to detect even the slightest anomaly. But Kane isn't worried. His enhancements, the cutting-edge armor, and his years of experience as a super soldier make him a perfect infiltrator. His cloak is almost invisible, blending seamlessly with the shadows, allowing him to slip past enemy patrols undetected. The journey itself is filled with obstacles. As Kane moves closer to the base, he encounters several patrols of Zareth soldiers. Their movements are precise, methodical, as they scan the area for intruders. Their alien features, sharp, insect-like faces and massive armored bodies, are intimidating, and their technology is advanced, but Kane is unfazed. His training kicks in, and with each encounter, he silently neutralizes the threats, taking out guards without making a sound. Each victory feels like a small but crucial step toward his goal. But the closer he gets to the fortress, the more dangerous the terrain becomes. The fortress itself is a massive structure, towering against the bleak landscape. It looks like a fortress straight out of a nightmare, dark, imposing, and surrounded by an array of advanced security measures. High walls bristle with defense turrets, automated drones patrol the skies, and AI-controlled security robots are stationed in every corner, guarding against any threat. It's a fortress built to be impregnable, and yet Kane is undeterred. His mind, augmented with AI, scans the environment, calculating the best route forward. Each decision is made with cold, logical precision. As he approaches the perimeter, the suspense intensifies. Every move he makes is critical. The AI-controlled drones buzz in the distance, patrolling the area with unblinking mechanical eyes. These drones are equipped with weapons capable of disintegrating anything in their path, and the security robots are relentless, programmed to seek out and eliminate intruders. Kane knows that if he's detected, it's over. But his calm, calculated demeanor never wavers. He trusts his training, his enhancements, and the technology at his disposal. In this part of the journey, the sci-fi elements shine through. Kane uses his advanced weapons and gadgets to bypass the fortress's high-tech security systems. His combat suit is equipped with cloaking technology that lets him disappear from sight, rendering him invisible to the enemy. His augmented senses allow him to track movements from miles away, ensuring that no patrol is a surprise. And his arsenal of weapons is state-of-the-art, with everything from energy blades to plasma rifles, each one designed to be silent and deadly. Kane also uses AI-controlled drones to gather intel and scout out areas ahead of him. These small, hovering machines are equipped with advanced sensors and cameras, allowing Kane to keep an eye on enemy movements without being seen. He sends them ahead to survey the area, feeding him valuable information about enemy positions and security weaknesses. The drone's silent hovering is the only sound in the otherwise quiet landscape, adding a layer of tension to the mission. With each successful reconnaissance, Kane feels closer to his goal, but he knows that the further he goes, the greater the risk. The fortress looms ahead, its entrance heavily guarded by automated defense turrets. Kane pauses for a moment, watching the rotation of the turrets and calculating his next move. Using his combat suit's cloaking feature, he sneaks past the turrets, taking out a few AI security robots along the way. These robots are fierce and precise, but Kane is faster. His movements are swift and silent, almost ghost-like as he slips past the defenses unnoticed. As he gets closer to the entrance, the tension becomes almost unbearable. One wrong move, one miscalculation, and the entire mission could fail. The deeper Kane infiltrates, the more dangerous the terrain becomes. The walls of the fortress seem to close in around him, and the atmosphere grows heavy with the sense of impending danger. Every corner he turns could bring him face to face with another patrol, another AI security bot, or an automated turret that could shred him to pieces in seconds. Kane's heart races, but he doesn't hesitate. His AI-enhanced brain allows him to process hundreds of possibilities at once, weighing every potential threat and reacting faster than any normal human could. It's a race against time. Alara's life is at stake, and he can't afford to be caught. Suspense reaches its peak as Kane enters the heart of the fortress. The security measures are at their highest here, and he must use every skill at his disposal to stay hidden. He takes a deep breath, scanning the surroundings with his augmented vision, picking out weak points in the fortress's defenses. His fingers dance across his control panel, activating his cloaking devices once more as he moves through a narrow corridor. The world around him fades to silence, and for a moment, it's just him and the mission. But he knows that the longer he stays hidden, the closer he gets to rescuing his daughter. The tension in the air is thick, but Kane doesn't break stride. He's been through worse, and nothing is going to stop him now. The journey to rescue Alara has only just begun, but with each passing moment, the stakes grow higher. Kane is on the edge of enemy territory, and each step he takes brings him closer to his daughter, and closer to danger. Will he be able to infiltrate the heart of the Zareth fortress and save her? Or will the powerful alien empire stop him before he even gets the chance? The suspense lingers, and the audience is left wondering, can Cain succeed, or will the odds finally catch up to him? Cain finally reaches the heart of the Zareth fortress. After navigating through labyrinthine corridors and past high-tech security systems, he arrives at a heavily guarded holding facility. The walls are cold, metallic, and lined with dark, flickering lights, creating a sense of dread. In the heart of this bleak chamber, locked away in a high-tech cell, is Alara. Cain's heart tightens at the sight of his daughter, but he knows he must act quickly before the alien forces realize he's there. But before he can make his move, a voice echoes through the hallway. "So, you've made it this far, human." It's the Zareth commander, Vrek. A towering figure with sharp, angular features, Vrek's cold, reptilian eyes gleam with malice as he steps out from the shadows, flanked by his elite guards. He smiles as he sees Cain, weak and vulnerable, or so he thinks. Vrek's voice drips with mockery as he taunts Cain. "You think you can challenge the might of the Zareth? You, humans, are nothing but primitive creatures. You are weak." Cain doesn't flinch. His enhanced senses are already assessing the situation, calculating every possible way to defeat the alien commander and his guards. Vrek's underestimation of humanity is his greatest mistake, and Cain is ready to prove just how wrong he is. The tension in the air is thick as Cain steps forward. Vrek looks down at him, sneering, believing that Cain is nothing more than an ordinary human with no chance of survival. What Vrek doesn't know is that Cain is far from ordinary. Once a super soldier with advanced AI augmentations, Cain is now a human weapon capable of unimaginable feats of strength, speed, and skill. And he's about to show Vrek just what humans are truly capable of. Without warning, Cain lunges at the first guard, using his enhanced agility to close the distance in a split second. The alien guard barely has time to react before Cain's fist connects with his face, sending the creature crashing into the wall with a sickening thud. Sparks fly as the guard's armored body crumples, but Cain is already moving on to the next target. The fight erupts into a brutal, close-quarters combat scene. Cain's enhanced strength and combat techniques are on full display as he takes on multiple guards at once. His fists strike with the force of a wrecking ball, knocking the aliens off their feet, while his agility allows him to dodge their counterattacks with ease. Cain's advanced training kicks in, and each movement is calculated, precise, and deadly. His every strike lands with pinpoint accuracy, tearing through alien armor like paper. The glowing weapons of the alien guards clash with Cain's advanced armor, creating a spectacle of sparks and light. The guards' energy blades swipe through the air, but Cain moves with lightning speed, ducking and weaving between their attacks. He uses his strength to disarm them, grabbing weapons from the alien guards and turning them against their masters. The once intimidating Zareth soldiers are quickly overwhelmed, falling one by one under the relentless assault of the human super soldier. Cain is a blur of motion, his powerful strikes sending aliens flying in every direction. The sheer power of his combat skills is evident, as he easily dispatches the guards with a combination of brutal punches, kicks, and expertly wielded weapons. The aliens try to regroup, but Cain is always one step ahead. He's too fast, too strong, and too skilled for them to handle. As the last guard falls to the ground with a defeated roar, Cain turns his attention back to Vrek, who watches the fight unfold with a mixture of disbelief and anger. His expression falters for a split second, as he realizes just how wrong he was to underestimate humanity. But there's no time to gloat. Cain's focus is razor-sharp, and he has only one goal, to rescue Alara. With a final, swift move, Cain approaches the holding cell. The door is locked, but Cain is ready. He activates a hidden device in his armor, a hacking tool that connects to the facility's security systems. His enhanced AI brain processes the complex algorithms in seconds, bypassing the security measures and unlocking the door. As it opens, Kane steps forward, and there she is, Elara, unconscious but alive, lying on a cold metal table. Kane kneels beside her, his heart swelling with relief. He gently lifts her into his arms, vowing to keep her safe no matter what. But as he turns to leave, Vrek steps forward, his voice low and dangerous. You may have defeated my guards, human, but you will not leave here alive. Vrek's words hang in the air like a challenge, and Kane knows the fight isn't over yet. The commander is strong, powerful, and determined to stop him, but Kane is no stranger to combat. The battle between them is inevitable. The suspense builds as Vrek and Kane face off. Vrek's alien strength is formidable, but Kane's super soldier enhancements give him an edge. The two combatants circle each other, each waiting for the other to make a move. Vrek strikes first, lunging with his energy blade aimed directly at Kane's chest. But Kane is faster. He dodges the strike and retaliates with a powerful punch that sends Vrek staggering back. The two continue to clash in a brutal battle, their weapons sparking with every hit. Vrek's taunts grow louder, but Kane remains focused. He knows that if he doesn't defeat Vrek, there's no way he'll make it out alive with Elara. With a final, devastating blow, Kane knocks Vrek to the ground. The alien commander struggles to get back up, but it's too late. Kane's fist comes down, finishing the fight and ensuring that Elara's rescue is complete. With the battle over, Kane takes Elara in his arms and begins to make his way out of the fortress. The road ahead is still dangerous, but for the first time, there's a glimmer of hope. Kane has faced unimaginable odds and come out victorious. And now, he's one step closer to getting Elara to safety. The confrontation may be over, but the journey is far from finished. The true battle is just beginning. Kane's heart pounds as he cradles Elara in his arms, her fragile body still weak from the torment she endured. They've made it this far, past the alien guards, the terrifying Commander Vrek, and the hostile alien fortress. But their ordeal is far from over. Kane can feel the vibrations beneath his feet as alarms begin to wail across the facility, signaling the Zareth have discovered their escape. The countdown to their doom has begun. With no time to lose, Kane looks into Elara's eyes. She's awake now, her gaze filled with confusion and disbelief. After all the horrors she's been through, she's now free, but Kane knows they can't afford to pause for long. The Zareth will be on their heels, and they'll stop at nothing to recapture her. Kane gently sets her down, his voice low but urgent. We need to move quickly. I'll protect you, Elara. Stay close. Elara, still processing the shocking turn of events, nods silently. She can't fully comprehend what has just happened, how her father, once a quiet and humble man, has become this unstoppable force, capable of taking down alien soldiers like they were nothing. Her mind races as she tries to understand the truth, but one thing is clear, she's safe for now, thanks to him. The bond between them, strained by years of separation and silence, is renewed in this moment of crisis. The pair races down the dark corridors, Kane leading the way, always looking ahead, assessing every turn, every shadow. The sounds of blaring alarms are deafening, and the facility is now in full lockdown. But Kane has one thing the Zareth don't, the determination to protect his daughter. Suddenly, the roar of approaching enemy forces echoes down the hallway. Kane's instincts flare. He pushes Elara into a small alcove, shielding her behind him as the sounds of armored footsteps grow louder. The enemy is closing in. Kane's muscles tense, his enhanced senses picking up the rapid movements of the Zareth soldiers. He checks the energy readings on his wrist interface, just a few seconds until the hallway is flooded with enemies. We can't stay here, Kane whispers urgently. Stay close. With a swift motion, Kane activates his cloaking device, making both himself and Elara invisible to the Zareth's advanced sensors. They move like shadows, creeping past the soldiers just as they round the corner. Kane's enhanced reflexes ensure they don't make a sound, moving swiftly through the maze of corridors. They reach the exit, but it's not without its own challenges. The blast doors are locked down, and the control panel is damaged. Kane's mind races, there's no time to waste. His fingers fly across the console, and his AI-enhanced mind calculates the optimal way to hack into the system and release the doors. The tension is unbearable as the countdown to their imminent discovery ticks away. The Zareth are close. Kane's heartbeat quickens, but his focus remains unshaken. He pulls up a schematic of the base's layout, locking in on the nearest escape route. We're almost there, he tells Alara, though he's not entirely sure they'll make it in time. Finally, the doors click open. Freedom, but not for long. The moment they step outside, the scene is chaos. Alien ships fill the sky, their sleek forms buzzing through the air, launching laser blasts into the atmosphere. The world around them is filled with fire and destruction, but Kane's focus remains sharp. There's no time to marvel at the devastation, their survival depends on getting off this moon before the Zareth catch up. Kane pulls Alara into a nearby transport ship, one of the few still functional after the Zareth assault. The engines roar to life, and the ship lifts off from the surface, flying into the darkness of space. But just as they think they're safe, a barrage of alien fire erupts, targeting their vessel. The ship shakes violently as explosions rock their surroundings. Kane grips the controls tightly, his mind calculating each move. He banks hard to the left, narrowly avoiding a direct hit. The visual is intense, explosions burst in the distance, fire trails streaking across the sky as they dodge incoming blasts. Alara clings to her seat, her eyes wide with fear. The truth is beginning to sink in, her father is not the man she thought he was. The quiet, retired man who worked odd jobs to make ends meet is now an unstoppable warrior. But this is more than just about Kane's abilities, this is about his fierce love for her, his determination to protect her at any cost. Kane glances at her, his expression softening for a moment. I'm not letting anything happen to you, Alara. Stay with me, and we'll get through this. Alara nods, a tear slipping down her cheek. She's scared, but she feels safe for the first time in a long while. Her father's strength isn't just in his body, it's in his will to protect those he loves. And in that moment, she knows that whatever happens, she's not alone. The ship shakes again as another explosion sends shockwaves through the hull. Kane grits his teeth, pushing the ship to its limits. The stars outside blur as they race through space, escaping the moon's atmosphere and heading for the safety of deep space. The visuals are breathtaking, alien ships closing in, their lasers lighting up the void as they chase down the human vessel. But Kane's ship is faster, more agile, and most importantly, it's equipped with the technology that allows it to evade the Zareth's targeting systems. Kane takes a sharp turn, using his superior piloting skills to maneuver the ship into a space anomaly, a nearby asteroid field. The Zareth ships hesitate, reluctant to follow them into the dense, treacherous field. The odds are stacked in Kane's favor, but the danger isn't over. Every moment is filled with tension as they weave between the massive rocks, dodging fire and the looming threat of capture. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, they break free from the asteroid field and escape into the dark expanse of space. For the first time in hours, Kane lets out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. The escape isn't just about fleeing, it's about survival. And as he looks over at Alara, he knows they've made it for now. But the journey is far from over. Hold on, Alara, Kane says, his voice steady. This is just the beginning. The stars flicker outside their ship's windows, but Kane's focus is on the battle unfolding before them. They are far from safe, and the calm of space only lasts for a few moments before the Zareth forces catch up with them. Kane's ship is now surrounded by a fleet of alien warships, each one massive and armed with devastating weapons. Their only chance for survival lies in Kane's ability to fight back, and he's prepared to give everything for Alara's safety. The first wave hits hard. Alien warships open fire, their weapons lancing through the void. Kane can feel the ship's hull shake as blasts hit it, but the vessel holds firm, its advanced shields absorbing most of the impact. The glowing alien lasers light up the space around them like a deadly light show, but Kane's hands remain steady on the controls. He knows exactly what to do. "Hold on, Elara." Kane calls, his voice full of determination. Elara, still recovering from the chaos of their escape, grips the seat tightly. She watches her father, her protector, fight like a man possessed. She had no idea he was capable of this, but in these moments, the truth is clear. Kane is no ordinary man. His past as a super soldier is now the key to their survival. As the enemy fleet closes in, Kane activates his ship's cloaking device, rendering them invisible to the Zaritha's tracking systems. The ship vanishes into the background of the dark void, and for a moment, they are out of sight. But the Zarith are no fools. They begin to spread out, searching for them in the vastness of space. Kane taps into his AI-enhanced mind and launches a series of advanced drones. These drones are equipped with state-of-the-art weaponry, each one capable of disabling enemy shields and attacking their warships with precision. The drones spread out, moving like a swarm, each one seeking out an enemy target. The Zarith fleet fires again, but Kane's ship dodges and weaves between blasts with the precision of a master pilot. As the drones engage the enemy ships, Kane pushes the ship into a high-speed dive, flying directly toward the enemy command vessel. His mind races with calculations as he uses the ship's advanced weapon systems to fire high-powered lasers at the enemy, striking at weak points in their hulls. The visuals are nothing short of spectacular. The sky above is ablaze with the bright lights of orbital bombardment, massive explosions lighting up the darkness of space. Kane's ship becomes a blur, dodging enemy fire and returning the barrage with even greater force. The enemy ships explode in fiery displays, and the vacuum of space is filled with the glow of destruction. But it's not enough. Vrek, the ruthless Zarith commander, is determined to end this chase once and for all. His flagship is massive, far larger than any of the other ships in the fleet. He surrounded himself with the most advanced weapons the Zarith have ever created, and he commands his forces with cold precision. Kane knows he has to outsmart them. The odds are stacked against him, but he's been in situations like this before. His super soldier enhancements flood his mind with tactical advantages, ways to use the battlefield to his favor, and how to turn the Zaritha's own technology against them. He taps into his memory of the Zarith weapon systems, knowing their weaknesses. With a few swift movements, he disables their most powerful weapons, rendering them useless. He hacks into their communication channels and turns their own turrets on each other. The Zarith, stunned by their sudden losses, struggle to regroup, giving Kane and Elara a brief moment to breathe. But Vrek is relentless. Kane's ship is hit again, this time harder, and the warning lights flash across the control panel. The ship's shields are weakening, and the Zarith are closing in. Kane knows they don't have much time left. They're running out of options, and it's clear that if they don't finish this now, the Zarith will overwhelm them. With no time to waste, Kane activates the ship's last line of defense, a devastating orbital bombardment device, one capable of striking at the enemy fleet from above. Kane pilots the ship into position, bringing the device into range. His hand hovers over the button that will trigger the bombardment, a last-ditch effort to turn the tide of the battle. Kane's mind flashes back to his training, to the countless missions he's survived, to the sacrifices he's made. This is it. His heart beats faster, but his resolve is stronger than ever. For Elara, for humanity, for everything he's fought for, he presses the button. The bombardment begins. Tears of fire light up the space around them as massive blasts from the ship's weapon tear through the Zarith fleet. Alien ships explode in a dazzling display of light and fire, their hulls rupturing under the sheer force of the bombardment. Kane's heart races as he watches the destruction unfold, but there's no time to revel in victory. The fight is far from over. Vrek's flagship is still intact, and he's not going down without a fight. The Zareth commander launches one final attack, sending a barrage of missiles directly toward Kane's ship. The missiles close in at breakneck speed, but Kane's quick thinking saves them. He dives the ship into a steep roll, narrowly dodging the incoming missiles. The ship shudders with each near miss, but Kane keeps his focus. With one last, powerful shot, Kane fires directly at Vrek's flagship. The blast strikes the heart of the command ship, sending shockwaves through the entire fleet. The flagship explodes in a massive fireball, sending the remaining Zareth warships scattering into space. The battle is finally over. The visuals of the explosion light up the space around them, the flames and debris illuminating the cold, dark void. Kane and Elara, battered but alive, watch as the enemy fleet disintegrates in front of their eyes. It's a victory, but it's a hard one. Elara turns to her father, her eyes wide with awe and gratitude. You did it, Dad. You saved us. Kane looks at her, his expression softening for a moment. We did it, Elara. We're not out of danger yet, but we're alive. And we'll keep fighting, together. As the battle subsides and the stars once again return to their peaceful glow, Kane knows this fight is far from over. But for now, they have won. And with Elara by his side, he's ready for whatever comes next. The battle has raged for what feels like an eternity. Vrek, the cold and calculating Zareth commander, is all that stands between Kane and Elara's escape. Kane knows that if they are to leave this nightmare behind, he must face Vrek in a final, one-on-one confrontation. There is no turning back now. The two stand at opposite ends of the battlefield, a silent, tense standoff. The wreckage of the Zareth fleet surrounds them, the quiet after the storm only broken by the sounds of distant explosions and the soft hum of Kane's ship's engines. Elara, safe for now, watches her father with wide eyes, knowing that this final battle will determine their fate. Vrek steps forward, his armor gleaming with advanced technology. He is more machine than alien, a perfect blend of Zareth engineering and brutal efficiency. His glowing red eyes focus on Kane, and he sneers, dismissing the human before him. You are nothing more than a relic, human, Vrek growls, his voice dripping with disdain. The age of your kind is over. You cannot defeat me. Kane stands tall, unwavering. You underestimate humanity, Vrek. It's not about technology or weapons. It's about willpower, heart, and the fight for what's right. With a roar of anger, Vrek charges, his enhanced strength propelling him forward with lightning speed. He swings a massive energy blade at Kane, the weapon crackling with energy. Kane, however, is ready. His super soldier instincts kick in, and he dodges just in time, narrowly avoiding the deadly strike. The ground beneath them cracks from the force of the missed blow. Kane retaliates with precision, using his own enhanced combat skills. He lands a solid punch to Vrek's midsection, sending the Zareth commander stumbling back. Vrek's technology may be superior, but Kane's strength comes from within, his raw human determination is unmatched. The fight is brutal. Kane and Vrek clash in a flurry of strikes and counterstrikes, each one more intense than the last. Sparks fly as their weapons meet, and the sound of metal against metal echoes through the battlefield. Kane's movements are a blur, his enhanced speed and strength allowing him to land blows that would crush any normal opponent. But Vrek is no ordinary opponent. Despite his technological advantages, Vrek is losing ground. Kane fights not just for survival, but for something more. He fights for his daughter, for the people of his colony, and for the future of humanity. With every strike, he forces Vrek back, driving the Zareth commander toward the edge of defeat. As the battle rages on, Kane finds an opening. Vrek, in his overconfidence, leaves himself vulnerable. Kane takes advantage of the moment, launching a devastating combination of strikes that finally disables Vrek's armor. The Zareth commander stumbles, his weapon falling to the ground as he gasps for breath. Kane, exhausted but resolute, stands over him. You were right about one thing, Kane says, his voice cold and steady. Humanity may not have your advanced technology. But we have something far stronger. In a swift, decisive move, Kane delivers the final blow, knocking Vrek to the ground. The commander's body slumps, his systems failing as his life fades away. The battle is over. The silence that follows is deafening. Kane stands over Vrek's fallen form, his chest heaving with exhaustion, but his heart filled with the satisfaction of victory. He has not only defeated the Zareth commander, but he has also proven that humanity can stand against the mightiest of forces. Kane looks toward Alara, who stands nearby, her eyes filled with awe and admiration. She sees her father in a new light, no longer just a man she barely knew, but a hero, someone capable of extraordinary things. Tears well up in her eyes, but she knows that there is still work to be done. With Vrek's death, the Zareth forces begin to retreat. The remaining ships are in disarray, their command structure shattered. Kane and Alara quickly make their way to the ship, knowing that their time is running out. As they board and prepare to leave, Kane looks back at the battlefield one last time. The camera lingers on the wreckage of the Zareth fleet, the remains of a once powerful empire now scattered across the void of space. The sight is a testament to humanity's resilience, to the fight against overwhelming odds. As Kane and Alara take off into the vastness of space, they know this is not the end. The war against the Zareth and other alien forces is far from over, but today, humanity has shown that it will not be easily defeated. The galaxy now knows that humans are a force to be reckoned with. Before they leave, Kane sends a message across the galaxy, a warning, but also a promise. We are back. And we will not be underestimated. The message is broadcast far and wide, across star systems and alien worlds. The words echo through the galaxy, a declaration that humanity has returned, and it will fight for its survival. The camera zooms out as the ship races into the unknown, the stars stretching out before them. Kane and Alara sit side by side, the weight of their journey ahead of them settling in. But there is hope in their hearts, hope that they have made a difference, and that humanity's future is no longer uncertain. The story ends with a sense of closure, but also with the promise of more to come. The battle for humanity's place in the galaxy has only just begun, and Kane and Alara will be at the forefront, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. The screen fades to black, and the credits roll, leaving the audience with a feeling of triumph and anticipation for the next chapter in humanity's struggle for survival.